Assalamu guys, Ifad back again with another video. And in this video, uh, like the previous one we just uploaded, this is a video on a function that we use in Excel. This is a function that you use in finance. Uh, this new series that we are doing, we will try to do a video on a separate video on each separate function. So if you want to just see how a particular function is used, you can just go to that function's video and learn how to actually apply it in your spreadsheets. Okay, so the today's function that we are doing is, and this is function number 2 in the series. This is the accrued interest function. Okay, now this function calculates the accrued interest of a security that pays periodic interest. Okay, so if I were to start typing here, it needs all these parameters: issue, first interest, settlement rate, par, frequency, basis, calc methods, and so on and so forth. Let's first just see what those parameters are, so we know how to actually apply this function. Okay, so what I've done is I have got a sheet here called definitions. Okay, and this, let's just go here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you've got 6 parameters which are basically required, and the last 2 are optional. Okay, and if you omit that, then it assumes a certain type. Okay, now the first parameter is the issue. That's the issue date. That is when the security was issued to you. Okay, then we have the first interest. That is when the first interest date of that security, when it pays you the first interest. Settlement, that is when you're actually going to go and settle that security. Between the security is settled between the buyer and the seller. That's the date when it's traded to the buyer. The rate, that is the interest rate, what you're getting out of this, what interest you'll be you're earning from that security, from holding onto that security. This is also called the annual coupon rate. Okay. Then you have the par value. This is the par value, or it's also called the face value. That is what you'll get when you settle the security. Frequency is the number of coupon payments, or the number of payments that you're getting out of the security. Now, if it pays you once a year, this parameter would be 1. If it pays you semi-annually, basically you're getting 2 payments in a year, the parameter is 2. If you're getting paid quarterly, that is 4 payments in a year, the frequency is 4. So it's very logical. You don't need to really get to get to hung up on this, because it's pretty straightforward. Once a year is 1, twice a year is 2, 4 times a year is 4. Okay, pretty straightforward. Basis, that's a type of day count that we'll be using. We'll go to that. I have a sheet here for basis also, and then we'll go into that and see what the base count is. Okay, then the last one is the calc method. Okay, now what that means is, you will have 2 parameters. Either you put in true or you put in false. Now if you put in true, what that means is, or 1, what that means is, it will give you the accrued interest from the issue date to the settlement date. Okay, so that's a longer period. False, or 0, is the accrued interest from the first interest payment, first coupon payment, to the settlement date. Because the first coupon payment is going to be after the issue date, so this is a shorter period. When you give false, it's a shorter period, because you have to have the security issued to you for it to pay you an interest. So the first interest that's paid, the first interest that you earn from also called the coupon payment. Okay, so that is going to be after, obviously after the security is issued to you. So if you're taking the period from the first interest payment to the settlement, that's a shorter period. Then when you first initially bought the security, all the way to the settlement date. Okay, so that's your calculation method. Now we talked about basis. Let's go here. Now, if you put a 0 or you omit that, it assumes 30, 360, 30 days of the month, 360 days in a year. If you put a 1, that's actual number of months, actual number of months, number of days of the month, and actual number of days in the year. If you put a 2, so that means actual number of days in the month, and assume that 360 days in a year. If you put 3, which means actual number of days of the month and 365 days in a year. If you put in 4, that's the European method. 30, 360 is exactly the same as the US. And basically what they do, these two, instead of 365, at times you use 360 just to not to have to worry about leap years. That's one of the reasons why you might want to go with 360 days in a year. Okay, so coming back to our first sheet here, let's see. I've got some dates here, some dates and some other information here, and let's calculate the accrued interest of this particular security. Okay, now this security was issued on the 1st of March 2020. The first interest will be paid on the 28th of February 2021. The security is going to be settled on the 28th of February 2022. The coupon rate or the interest rate that you're getting is 9.5%. The par value or the face value when you settle the security is $1,000. The coupon payment is 2. The frequency is 2, meaning is semi-annually, which was here. Since there are 2 payments in the year, is semi-annual. Okay. And basis is 0. So basically we're going to 30,360. Okay. And we are not going to worry about the first example. We are not going to be worried about the calculation method. If you do not enter, it defaults to true. Okay. And the true is from issue to settlement. Okay. So let's do. So the issue date, that's your 1st of March 2020. The first interest is 28th of February 2021. The settlement date is 28th of February 2022. The coupon rate is 9.5%. The par value or face value is 1,000. It pays you twice a year, so it gives you a hint here. So we're going with well, let's just do this here. Click here. And the basis is we're going with 30,360, and we are going to skip the calculation method. When you skip, it defaults to 2. That is your accrued interest for this security that pays you periodic interest. Okay. Now let's see another way to put in these dates. Okay, this date here. And I'll also show you how to use the true function or the false for the calculation method. Okay. Now, the first parameter that it wants is the issue date. So instead of clicking here, what we're going to do is we're going to use the date function. And the first option it wants is the year. So we are putting 2020. Okay. Month is 3. March is 3rd month. Day is 1. That close bracket. So we've got the issue date. The rest we can keep the same as that's the 28th of February 2021 is when the first coupon payment is made. The security is settled on the 28th of February 2022. The coupon rate is 9.5%. The par value is $1,000. Frequency is semi-annually. Basis is 0, so 30,360. And now first what we'll do is we'll do with true. Okay. Let's make it more interesting. Instead of March, let's make February. So 1st of February is when the issue date is. Okay. So you get, and I'll just put it here that this was the example with true, and I will also do the same values but with the false parameter. Okay, so let's just copy this. And instead of true, we'll put in false. And now you see these two values. One is 196 and the other is 149. That's because this is, if you go back to the definitions, the true returns value of true. Let me just write this down. And I'm just gonna copy this and paste it over here. And go back. And I'll copy this and paste it over here. All right. Now, true is total accrued interest from issue to settlement. Okay, so issue was, when was it issued? What was the issue date? The issue date what we did was the 1st of February 2020. Okay, so let's just put it here, 1st February 2020. Okay, now false is the for the first interest payment, okay, to settlement. Okay, this is your first interest payment, by the way. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now, what we did was, this is still being issued on the 1st of February, but when is the first interest? On the 20th of February 2021. Okay, so the first interest is 28th of February 2021. Now do you see, this is a longer period, this is a shorter period. Because it's longer period, interest accrued is higher, and this is a shorter period, interest accrued is lower. So that's how you can use the calculation method to calculate the accrued interest either from the date of issue of the security or till the settlement date, or from the date of the first interest payment or the coupon payment to the settlement of the security. And that's why you get two different values here. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please kindly give it a thumbs up, and do keep coming back and checking this space. Like I said, I will be uploading regular videos, one video per function. There are about 450 functions in Excel. So we'll be doing a separate video on each function. All right. So like I said, if you like this video, please kindly give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll receive notifications from Google, from YouTube when new videos get uploaded. Thank you.